Hello, folks, and welcome to the Friend or Foe League. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, Sharrigan, and I have joining me on today's caster desk, Anti. How's it going, Anti?
Hello, I'm back. It's been a hot minute. We're seeing some interesting picks and bans already from the beginning. You know, the Echo and the Camille being taken away from INT.
Yep, we're getting both of those taken away is kind of like an important thing to do, I think. You just got to make sure you don't let Bow Explode pick up that Echo, don't let Broccoli get his Camille, and you're kind of taking away that. And I do like taking away Jeff's Thresh, so some really respectful bans coming out right there. In the meantime, on In the Trees side, I don't think we've seen a lot of Urgot when Malzahar is just like a pretty good pick over him.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly from scouting against GURL, Neko actually plays a lot of Malzahar in the mid lane, which is why Malzahar's been consistently banned against Gorilla Muffins. And taking away the Annie, another pick that's very much, plug and play. You don't have to... There's not too much skill expression, but there also isn't too much counterplay. And the Darius first pick, please... I don't know about this one.
So here's my thing when it comes to like first picking champions like this. What you're doing is you're basically just saying, hey, look, we're taking this guy in the top lane, counterpick me. Like you want them to counterpick you, which means...
You are throwing down the gauntlet. You're saying, I don't care what you pick, I am going to smash you anyway.
Exactly. That, or they're saying, look, counterpick me, and then you're drafting something completely different with the rest of your team. So you're kind of trying to bait out at least those first two picks so that you can kind of like play a little bit of a mind game in the draft here. So I respect it. I do think it's a little bit of a arrogant play to do that right off the bat. And then right over here, we see immediately the pickup of the Sivir. That's going to get some nice poke from a distance. And then a Lethality Sivir is just absolutely disgusting right now. Run that Dark Harvest, you hit those Qs, and there's really nothing they can do because all of your squishies just explode. So I am going to be curious to see what In the Trees does for the rest of it, though.
Yeah, one of the big things about Sivir... Oh, okay, so we're seeing the Zac, and this Zac, we've seen Bow Explode use it to great effect. And, we could see... The thing is, right, Zac can be flexed top, jungle, and support. We don't see that much of support. We don't see that much of top. And we see it most often in the jungle, but it is a viable pick in those opportunities. And we're seeing the Ezreal here. One of the picks where it's like, hey, we know it's Zac. We know he wants to get on the back line. We're just going to pick something safe that doesn't have to have too much peel. So when you have a champion that has very little CC like Darius as your frontliner, you should be good to go. And we're going to see the classic Neko Lux, that she's very comfortable on it. She's going to take it whenever it's open. And... nothing too strange we're seeing from Gorilla Muffins outside of the Darius pick right now.
And I do like the combination with Lux, Ezreal, and Darius, just because you do have the lockdown available with Lux's Q, which is going to basically keep them from moving, which will make it real easy for Darius to come in, yank him closer, or Ezreal to hit off his Mystic Shot. And then I think the Victor is a decent counterpoint to the Lux. We have seen... Evolve Noob do very well on Victor, and he's able to hit you from a distance, which is something that Lux is going to be doing anyway. So it's a good way to basically be able to poke each other from across the map, essentially. And then as we come down here to these next round of bans, we're already seeing the Sejuani taken out, so that's a tanky option that would not have been a bad idea against for Gorilla Muffins to take. Although I have only seen the it depends on who they would have taken as support, because I only see one melee champ, so two. For Sejuani, like that's kind of your coin flip, but I don't know if I would take Sej into something with the natural spell shield.
Yeah, and one of the big things that we see here is that Sejuani being banned out by INT actually means that they're not going to have access to Bow Explode Sejuani. So, it's looking like the Zac will be ending up in the jungle.
More than likely.
And the LeBlanc being taken away. So they're calling it out. They're saying, hey, we think that you're going to be putting that Lux in support.
Which is interesting because a LeBlanc pickup wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea. It is an assassin mage though, so it's like you have some issues dealing with a LeBlanc in general. I have so much trouble with that champion, and I think it's basically you want to bully people. Like if you pick LeBlanc, you're a bully.
She's phenomenal into Victor. It's just interesting that they're playing it safe, trying to say like, hey, you will definitely put this Lux in support. But if you don't, then, we'll be fine playing into it. They're just forcing this Lux into mid lane as much as they can.
Yes, they are trying to get it over there. And so I think these next two picks are actually going to be probably the the biggest thing that we'll see out of In the Trees, like just this next one, and then these next two out of Gorilla Muffins. And we're having a Samira picked up.
Interesting.
Okay. You know, now I'm thinking it might be Zach's support. Because you've got the knockup by the stretch arms, so like you'll have that knockup and she can double knock them.
Yeah, but like you could still pick like, you know, Nautilus or like Blitzcrank, something with that. So it's not necessarily Zach support just yet. And then honestly right now it really just leaves like, you know, who's gonna be top lane. So Nautilus gonna be picked up by Gorilla Muffins, which honestly I think a really good pick here, good into Zach, good at shutting down Samira, denies the Samira Nautilus pick, which would be used to great effect, honestly. We've seen it time and time again in FOF. And the Fiddlesticks. I don't hate Fiddlesticks.
I don't.
I just don't understand why we've had 3 games of Fiddlesticks in a row.
Yeah,
okay, INT.
That's an odd one.
All right. What am I looking at?
I have no idea what has happened to this game. This game has just decided to go off the rails. Quintop would be my guess into the Darius, because that's a decent counter pick there, because you'd just be able to harass him out of that lane as much as you possibly want. I have no idea who's jungling, though, if that's the case. I'm
calling it out. Victor top, Quinn jungle, Zach support, Samir AD carry, Sivir mid. I'm just calling it out.
Well, let's hop out of the rift and see exactly what kind of a weirdness we got going on here.
Right. Dang it!
You were close. It's a double ADC bot lane. So really, you were just kind of, you're just wrong about the placement of the Victor, throwing the whole thing off.
No, I'm just like wrong for a lot of it, actually.
You got the Zach right.
No, I said Zach support.
Oh, you said Zach support. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I just got bamboozled the entire way.
Yep.
Okay, Pure Llama, I see you.
Yeah, we just got heckin' bamboozled. Okay, so with something like this, you don't have the strongest level 1, so obviously INT is not looking for a hard engage. But at the same time, you got 3 ADCs and one of them is Samira. So I personally would have gone for it just to see what you can try and pull off. You definitely have the second, like the half Guardian Angel that Zach has that would have helped mitigate some potential bad situations. One thing that we'll probably be seeing out of GURL is some decent vision control coming out from Pure Llama. Like, that is the one thing I absolutely want to see this game, because you have a Fiddlesticks. You don't have an excuse to have a low vision score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the big things about Fiddlesticks, you know, his effigies, you know, come up much more quickly than wards for every other champion. And once you hit 6, all of a sudden you got control wards out the wazoo all over the map. The biggest problem I have with Fiddlesticks here is that with these lane compositions, you're not necessarily expecting to get priority. And if Fiddlesticks doesn't have priority, can get invaded, but because of the Zac pickup in the jungle, Fiddlesticks' invade should not be something that you're expecting too much. Zac isn't particularly great at invading, which is why I was expecting something like Quinn jungle. But this is already being used to great effect by Broccoli in the top lane.
See, that's what I was talking about. Like, Broccoli is able to just jump in, get a nice bit of damage off, and then they're able to just kind of jump away, and it's going to be a major problem for Bacon up in the top lane. Like, I know a lot of top laners who are like, anytime I see a ranged top laner, I just tilt. Like, just straight up. I don't even have to get to lane before I'm tilted.
I totally feel that. Oh,
ooh,
really
taking the spell shield level 2. Good job, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's got some interesting picks here, which we've seen earlier in the season, right? With the Everfrost Rel support. And Jeff is, honestly, it seems like Jeff has quite the champion pool.
I feel like Jeff is one of those supports who's like, let's see if I can make this work. And he's found some combos that work well for him. That can come out kind of fun and be interesting. So that is going to shove Black Venom and Necker under tower. However, they are having to basically just avoid all of that damage. Good job by Broccoli trying to avoid a lot of the damage from the Darius. They are able to get a decent bit of damage out themselves. That wave's going to shove in. This means that our poor Fiddlesticks has absolutely no priority anywhere, leaving him very open to being invaded. Zac is going to be able to go for this top scuttle, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a bit of an engage right as Fiddlesticks comes to check it out.
At this point, I feel Llama should just look at the lane states and be like, hey, I can't get these scuttles. Oh, yeah, there's just so little that Llama can do at this point, and bot lane is getting absolutely poked out, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, see, this is the advantage of a double ADC bot lane, is you are able to get a lot of decent poke, you're able to hit at a distance. It's kind of like taking the Senna support to an odd, like, its original state before Senna was released.
Yeah, one of the biggest things about having a double range bot lane in general is just that, Pure Llama trying to go for
Pure Llama getting caught out by Bow Explode. They weren't able to find him in the top side, so now they're trying to find him here, getting a nice bit of damage as they chunk him out to half health. And then in the top lane, having another bit of fighting going on here as we get a couple of arrow shots from Brock Lee chunking down Bacon Pancakes. And now we see that pretty much all of GURL was brought down to half health here just momentarily. We do see Fiddlesticks healing it up as he is wont to do.
And one of the big things about range tops into melee tops is that I think that a lot of the time people understate just how difficult it is to actually play the range tops into the melee tops. It's one thing to get continual good trades off, and it's another thing to actively deny them CS. So we see that Brock Lee is currently 10 CS above Bacon Pancakes, but there's a huge wave over here that Bacon Pancakes should be fine with. And Pure Llama coming right in.
Fiddlesticks going in right now, trying to get some damage onto Brock Lee. They are able to hit. We got the channel coming out. Nice bit of drain damage as Brock Lee is going to be going down here shortly. He's trying to get Valor to do some damage. Bacon Pancakes stepping up a little bit close, means he's going to get in range. That is going to be a very close fight, though, as Brock Lee almost took down Pure Llama.
Brock Lee almost taking out Pure Llama there, but Pure Llama has the teleport, Brock Lee has the flash and ignite, which means that this is actually so bad for Quinn here. And Bacon Pancakes is in much better position, picking up that Ninja Tabby, and should be able to take significantly less damage up in the top lane.
Yeah, no, there was good use of the blinding strike from Quinn in order to keep Fiddlesticks from being able to continue the auto attacks, but the Reap just basically kind of guesses where they are and he's able to hit. So good on Fiddlesticks right there, able to keep that engage going, but it almost turned out very poorly. I do like this rotation, though, coming out from INT, where they're just like, fine, we're going to go ahead and take the dragon because there's no way for you to stop us. Ooh, we have the E coming out from Lux, but it's going to come out just a little bit early.
That was actually way closer than I anticipated.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I also think it's going to be an Infernal Drake, by the way. Yes, Infernal.
All right. So
just saying, just dropping it out there.
I'm going to go with Mountain. I'm going to just go with Mountain, because why not?
I feel like there's too many ADCs in this game for it to be a Mountain Soul. As much as you want those resistances, I don't think the algorithm would want them to actually have that. They want the damage.
Who knows? Who knows? And all I can say is, all I can say is Sharo is in the know, and I am not.
Well, you know how we write the script for FOF, right?
Yes,
I got them to send me a script for their dragons, so
I see. You know what? I'm gonna still take that bet. You know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go all in on that mountain. We'll see how it goes.
All right, you can go all in on that mountain. A couple of, just so you know, in the future, I will be giving some of those up just for a whim to kind of keep my illusion that I am in fact human and not a prophet.
Yeah. That is the play. That is the play.
Exactly. So right here, I do like the fact that Fiddlesticks is going up into this top lane. They're both trying to play around Scuttle Rift Herald in order to prep for that, as it's going to be coming up here momentarily. I don't like this fight in the river, though. I feel like this is really, really bad for GURL.
Oh, it could be really good here, actually.
It could be. Ooh, nice!
Oh my God!
Coming out from Neko. That was a good job right there, getting a nice bit of damage. Evolved Noob's going to get burned out. He's going down. Tries to get out the laser beam. Isn't going to find a target, but we do have the drone just doing some damage. We are going to see Bow Explode getting really, really low. He's not going to be able to be taken down, though, so that means he still has his passive available. Oh, never mind. Something just made him explode. I guess his surface tension just kind of snapped. He stepped on a rock or something.
Yeah, and as we've seen before against really good teams, GURL still has a pretty solid early game. It's just been the struggle of transitioning that into a win later into the game. So seeing something like this is very promising from GURL. We're going to see how it transitions later on.
And something like this game, I feel like, is definitely INT-inting it a little bit. With those 3 ADC pickups means that as this game progresses later on, their macro play can be really good, but if they end up in a 5v5 team fight, there's a possibility that they're just out-positioned by GURL because they just have the slightly better front line with the Nautilus and the Darius, so they're able to just jump onto those carries. If Quinn isn't able to jump onto the back line, her assassin-like nature just isn't going to be able to come out.
But at the same time, you got 4 champions really, designed to just absolutely demolish frontline. And considering they don't have a real super tank, I think that is still going to be very difficult in terms of 5v5 for GURL.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be. It's not going. They're not going down without a fight. In the trees is definitely gonna come out swinging for the trees. Yeah. I like that Quinn skin. That's a really pretty Quinn skin.
It is. All right, and Bo Explode gonna get caught on the ward here.
He's going to get caught, which I think is perfectly fine. He's just going to clear it out. Pure Llama's up here as well, so they're kind of aware that he's in this general vicinity and can try and counter it if they need to. I do like this preemptive, just kind of, hey, let's hang back a little bit and just see if we can waste as much of his time as possible. We do have Bacon losing a little bit of experience, but he's staying pretty close to Broccoli, so they are still even in levels. Necker getting really, really low, though, from the Kenny Hammer Spike Qs.
Yeah, and this bot lane is continually pressuring. It is kind of interesting because you usually see Ezreal being the one doing the poking, but this time around we see the Samira doing it, and Neko gonna continually trade in that mid lane. Not going to be ahead in CS, but that early kill certainly does help.
Yeah, no, it's oh man, I love that we have Dante on the Rift right now. It's kind of funny. It makes me laugh. All right, looking at the state of this game, we've got the Ocean Drake coming up here in about 50 seconds, so that's like a little under a minute. So we already see that we've got some basic preparation happening in the tree side. It looks like they're getting ready to try and take this dragon. They were able to take the last one pretty easily. Neko's about to get caught out right here as we have Zach jumping in on the backline, stretching shot comes out. We do see him get slammed together, and that's going to be brought under tower. That's going to be him taking down the Crow Storm is coming out as well. Evolved Noob picking up that kill. In the meantime, in the top lane, we have a nice fight going on, but that is going to be the execute coming out from the bleed. Good job, Bacon Pancakes, as he takes down the Quinn. Meantime, Fiddlesticks was able to survive that fight in the mid lane, even though we got pulled away from it really quickly.
Wasn't looking too good for Neko there, but being able to trade back on the top side solo for Bacon Pancakes, honestly, really good stuff. And the fact that Bacon Pancakes is winning out on these trades, sitting on Ninja Tabby Warden's Mail, is wild to me.
Well, I want to say right now, I see 2 Ninja Tabby on the side of GURL, which into this INT comp is absolutely devastating.
I think that's 3, actually.
3?
Yeah, I think Fiddle has it. It's just Predator.
It might be, yeah. It's just kind of a little hard to see. Yeah, if that's 3, that's just absolutely gross.
Yo!
What did I miss?
Mountain Soul.
Oh, dag nabbit. Yep, you got it this time. I was a little confused. I saw the dragon go down, and I was like, you just yelled, like, looking at the minimap, it's like, what did I miss? What happened?
Yeah, and just like that, I've finally gotten one. I think I missed every soul that I've done so far, except this one.
Well, you know what the payment for that was? It was the fact that the next game ended up having to be rescheduled.
Ah, just like that, huh?
So you only get to cast 1 game today.
Well, it's what I'm used to at this point, honestly.
All right, so like I really like what was going on down here in the bot lane. I did want to point out Black Venom threw out a dredge line, and Kenny just cleanly blade whirled it right out of the way, just knocking it to the side.
Yeah, this is so difficult for Nautilus to engage onto because, unless you're using Depth Charge, you're not going to get it past the Blade Whirl. You're not going to get the hook past the Blade Whirl, and you're not going to get it past the Spell Shield from Sivir either. And, oh, man, this poke is just... Oh, God.
That is just devastating. Yeah, lots of damage right there. Bo Explode not sitting on a ward, but he's going to see Bacon Pancakes walking right into him. We do have the Executioner trying to get a nice spin-off. Not able to, though. Not able to find a purchase. I have a feeling Bo's just going to kind of wait here until they get this wave pushed back under, and we're going to see a tower dive.
Is that a Frozen Heart Rush?
It is a Frozen Heart Rush. Going tanky on the Darius instead of straight damage.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Black Venom getting out of the tower range. He does have the Angel right there, and that is going to be Samira doing the Infernal Trigger, getting a nice bit of damage off as she gets the double kill. But she's going to be walking right into Fiddlesticks and is going to get feared right back. Pure Llama stepping up a little bit into melee range, not exactly where he wants to be. We have the channel from the Crow Storm coming out. It's not able to get the fear off. He wasn't out of sight long enough. He's going to get ignited, so the drain is not going to be doing as much. We see the passive coming out from Pure Llama, and so he's going to be going down. Bacon Pancakes.
Oh my god!
Onto Samira. We see this Darius getting the double kill, triple kill as he takes them down.
All right, you know what? I apologize for ever doubting. Frozen Heart Darius is the new wave.
Oh, I thought you were applauding it. I was like, yeah, good job going a little bit of defense. It's going to cut his late game damage a lot.
I mean, however, I think that Frozen Heart's great. It's just that Frozen Heart Rush is not something I'm used to seeing.
It is something that, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is a little unusual. I think it's kind of like in this case, like running a Bramble Vest early on, so you don't have to worry about the Quinn auto attack damage. But in this case, you got the Ward Mail slowing down those auto attacks. It's going to be so devastating for Sivir and Samira as well, because that's where all of their damage is. There's just going to be very little that they're actually able to do.
The thing about Ninja Tabi Bramble Vest is that it's super gold efficient because it applies Grievous Wounds and reduces the amount of damage that you take from your opponent by 12% on auto attacks, which is really good for 1900 gold. And that's 1900 gold that's not going towards your Mythic, so you spike later, but at the same time, you take enough that you're going to be able to win trades. Frozen Heart, on the other hand, is not 1900 gold, but 2500. So adding the Ninja Tabi on top of that, we've got, I believe, 3600 gold dumped towards not your mythic item, which if you're this far ahead and you have enough gold, sure, that's fine. But the big thing is gold compounds on gold. The more items that you have that allow you to do damage in order to snowball, the more efficiently you can snowball. So the fact that Bacon Pancakes is able to get 4 kills 15 minutes into the game,
and first tower,
and first tower, without needing to buy damage is wild.
Ooh, Zach diving in, trying to get that Rift Herald. Not quite able to do it, but he is going to be able to zone them off. We have Black Venom flashing onto it in order to actually pick up Shelly. So they are going to be able to use it here in just a moment. Boexplode trying to get some damage off. Does not have a lot in his Aeon Flux,
oh my god,
Essence Flux yet, but that is going to be a nice Crow Storm from Pure Llama as it just absolutely rips the life from the rest of INT.
And INT with a relatively disrespectful draft going to be absolutely eviscerated by GURL in this early game. And like we've said before, GURL as a team, if you make mistakes in the early game, they are going to capitalize on it. And getting those early leads is not something that we're strangers to seeing.
We are not strangers to see it, and it is one of those things we're gonna have to see how they do into this later game, because as we saw, Kenny was able to do a lot with Samira early, before that triple kill from the Darius, right? So there is gonna be that kind of a spike later on in the game, and it's gonna be coming from 3 different sources, with the Quinn being able to jump onto the Ezreal and the Lux and the Fiddlesticks all being in danger of just getting popped immediately, and then just the sustained damage coming out from Kenny and Jeff is going to be really tough in these later fights once they actually come online. Sivir's one of those champions who, once they have 6 items, is so hard to deal with.
Oh, Predator Fiddle.
Ooh, nice fear. We got the lightning strike coming out from Lux. She's going to be able to pick up 2. That is going to be devastating as they just completely kill. That was really well done.
Yeah, phenomenally played from the side of Gorilla Muffins here. And picking up this Mountain Soul is so good when your team's damage is fully indexed towards physical and your only magic damage is Victor and Zach. That Frozen Heart is going to have so much value. You're going to get a push out here in the mid lane. Ooh, charge does go
they
down.
Almost didn't get that charge off on Shelly, though. Did you see that? It had 10 health as it hit.
Yeah, and that charge, very important there, also means that diving this mid tower is a possibility, but it seems that they're not going to opt for it.
They're not going to opt for it right now. Could be looking for it here momentarily. Good route by Lux in order to get Evolved Noob stuck in lane like that. That's going to be, again, this is going to be really, really interesting as we get into the later parts of the game.
And one of the biggest things that we're going to have to look forward to as this game gets later on, is Darius is going to have Mythic fully completed, and we're going to see just how much damage that this Darius can really combat. Oh? Not quite going to kill.
Not quite able to get that kill. The nice job by Neko as he's able to get a nice hit off right there. Sorry, it froze on my screen for a moment.
Yeah, Neko was looking to get the kill onto Broccoli as Broccoli had gone in pretty deep, but Evolved Noob, seeing Neko going into the jungle, following over, and says, "Hey, you're not allowed to kill my teammate for free like that. So take this Chaos Storm."
And now let's look at this. Okay, so here's where I'm getting at. So we do see that GURL is up 10-7, right? But if we look at this gold lead, they've got not even a full 1K gold lead.
And one of the big parts is that it's going to be largely on the Darius, but Samira and Sivir managed to get so many plates in that bot lane that for the most part it is equalized even if they did get first tower.
Not to mention, we just look at the CS right here. 4 members on INT already have over 100 CS. 2 of them over 120. 3 of them over 120. And so, like, we really need to see Jeff start picking up the pace. He's a little bit behind. Good job by W6D1 as he's able to get onto Neko, able to get a nice bit of knockup damage as he's pulling him back into the middle lane. We do see that Kenny was not able to get the secondary knockup. Good back edge route right there on W6D1.
And Neko needs to be really careful here.
We got W6D1 diving in once again, using the tower to smash the Lux into it, and then we see W6D1 taking a couple of tower shots. His passive is going to go down. He's going to have a couple of them go the passive going to be protected by the tower shot. That was a good block by the spell shield on Jeff as he avoids getting hit by that depth charge, and now we're going to see that tower dive threaten that we were talking about.
And Broccoli's looking to flank, but you're flanking as Quinn. There's not too much you're going to be able to do flanking directly into a Darius.
Not a lot. I mean, you can try and do a few things, but yeah, if you get too close, he's just going to start shredding you and chopping you up with his axe.
Yeah, and we see the Stride Breaker fully completed on the side of Bacon Pancakes, which means that despite having Sivir's ultimate, it's going to be much harder to kite this Darius.
Yeah, kiting the Darius is going to be tricky just because he's going to be able to chase you down, especially with that Frozen Heart and the Stride Breaker. Means that your attacks on him are just going to not do very much anyway. So you kind of, it's like, the thing is when these team fights happen, you've kind of got to ignore the Darius to a point to get onto the damage dealers in the back line. But at the same time, he's going to be doing a lot of work in that front line. Broccoli waiting in the wings, does see Neko, is able to jump on him, getting a nice bit of damage off. We do see the Illuminos, the light final spark come out, and that is going to be the all she wrote. Broccoli picking up the blue buff, having to flash away, gets pulled back by the Decimate, apprehended, executed by the Noxian Guillotine.
And just like that, Broccoli going for something kind of cutesy, but Bacon Pancake saying, no, this is another one for me.
Yep.
Everything is going into Bacon Pancake's pocket right now.
Right now, Bacon Pancakes is the one to kill. He's got a nice shutdown bounty on him, so it's kind of like you got to be really careful if you're him. Don't want to overextend too much. If we see him go this whole game, like he manages to survive without a death, I'm going to be super impressed.
Yeah, and one of the big things is that Bacon Pancakes understands that. And, you know, all you need to do is stay alive. You need to make sure that the enemy team doesn't get that shutdown gold, and continually building more and more tankiness in order to deal with that. This could be spooky.
This could be super spoopy as we have the rest of INT waiting in the wings, jumping right on there. W6D1 getting a nice stretch arm onto Pure Llama. Not able to pull him back, though. They are going to be flashing away in order to escape. That was a good escape by GURL.
Yeah, really well-played escape. And Black Venom understanding that you can just hold on to the depth charge. No need to burn that ulti just yet. And just like that, while they have burned the flash from the Fiddlesticks, they have 2 ultimates that are really important for this team fight still available on the side of GURL.
Yep, and now we already see that the rest of INT have arrived for this dragon fight. We see that Bacon Pancakes is the one posturing there. He's going to go ahead and start it, hitting it just once in order to pull it out and towards INT's direction. So that now that it's been activated, we see that, look how fast they're shredding it with these 3 ADCs.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Right, channeling.
We got the nice light binding coming out, but it's going to miss. Final Sparks coming out as well. It's going to find a couple of targets, but it's not going to get any kills on that. We see the red team is able to take down the Mountain Drake, so they're able to pick up some extra resistance. We see that Samira is on the back time, using the Infernal Trigger to absolutely shred everyone who decided to jump on her, just getting all of those pot shots off, and the only one left is Necker. He's trying to run away. He's just going to end up walking backwards in the wrong direction, but it's going to be a bounce on the head by Zach that ends up picking up the kill.
Yeah, it was looking so good for GURL at that point. And while we see, you know, there's such a good Fiddlesticks ulti onto the backline, it only catches W6D1 in terms of the fear. Like, right now, they're trying to posture around this dragon, but they don't realize that they're on vision. Fiddlesticks does get the ulti off, does get the fear onto W6D1, but the moment that Bo can ulti, Fiddlesticks gets completely taken down. And once Samira gets those 6, Kenny says, the time has come, and so have I. It is time for everyone to get hit by this Inferno Trigger. And every single person on GURL goes down.
Yeah, and that little walk back by Necker, I'm not entirely sure what exactly they were attempting to accomplish. I don't know if it was a, oh, look, he's totally like screwing up. Let's toy with him now because he made a huge misplay in order to try and play some mind games there. But yeah, and this is going to be a rotate up to Baron. Theoretically, I think they could take it if they wanted to, but they probably want to push in mid instead.
Like, I think with, you know, quadruple damage, with triple damage dealers here, you certainly could, but it's kind of risky because the death timers aren't that long at this stage in the game.
Yep. It is a little bit of a chance they would have had to take, and they have a bunch of ultimates down right now. Admittedly, Samira's has like no cooldown, so it's purely based on the amount of style points she can get up. But we do see that is exactly what GURL expected. They expect them to go for the greedy play for the Baron instead of just the mid turret.
And one of the big things that we saw in that last fight was that Pure Llama, while they got a great ultimate off, was unfortunately able to activate the Zhonya's. I'm not sure if they actually had Zhonya's fully completed during that fight, but if Fiddle Zhonya's there, I think that GURL might just straight up win that fight because Fiddle got popped at the very beginning, which was a huge amount of the damage on their team getting removed from the field.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, nice fear coming out from Pure Llama as he jumps right onto the Quinn, and they're able to get the assassination onto the assassin. We do see Jeff has arrived up here in the top lane, probably just trying to do some assists with this wave push. And this is where GURL's going to start having a huge advantage over in the
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, look at this. Necker jumping on, like he's having to run from that right there. That is a lot of damage coming out from the Chaos Storm.
Yeah, you know, Evolved Noob said, hey, you know, Neko got a kill in the top lane, well, let me go get one in the bot lane. Drops the Chaos Storm, unfortunately isn't able to get the kill. Black Venom in a dangerous position.
Elastic Slingshot coming out as we see Bo-Explode going in. He goes in hard, and he gets a kill for it. That's going to be the Nautilus taken down. Bacon Pancakes is running away, but he's getting shredded. Oh, the good flash by Kenny. He's going to pick up that kill. That is a good job on him, so that's going to leave this Baron call open as we see that Necker, Nico, and Fiddlesticks are both up there in the top running. They're trying to stop this, but at the same time, this is exactly what INT wants. They're just waiting for the right opportunity to spring their trap.
And one of the big things here, Pure Llama doesn't quite have the ultimate up just yet, and it's going to look so bad if they can't get it onto this Baron.
Yep, it'll look really, really poor. And unfortunately, Nico is caught out by the final spark. We have the ultimate coming up, but they're in vision, so that means that there's no fear right there. We see that the smite comes down as Red Team picks up the Baron Nashor because unfortunately Fiddlesticks was golden, but he was the right kind of golden. We see Kenny Hammerspike taking that and making bank.
And it was looking like it could almost have made it. You know, that True Shot Barrage coming in from Ezreal, dropping it down, so that way even if they stop DPSing the Baron, Pure Llama can still smite, but unfortunately just barely not able to get that. And that's such a huge gold swing for the side of INT here, which what started off as such a good-looking early game for Gorilla Muffins is unfortunately looking to be on the side of INT's favor.
Unfortunately, the wave push on the side of In the Tree is so massive that they're able to just kind of create this phantom pressure, essentially, where they're able to just shove these waves in so quickly that it allows them to roam around the map in a much safer manner than they honestly should be able to.
And one of the big things, right, is that full AD team compositions used to be like, oh, you just straight up lose now because armor was something that was so accessible and you could get so much of it and you just pick Malphite and, you know, haha, you know, we just win. You die off of me building one Thornmail. But nowadays, I honestly think full AD compositions aren't actually all that bad. And Team INT still do have the Zac, still do have the Victor, so it's not even a full AD composition. So it's like, this comp seems whack.
I think Bo-Explode got a little confused right there by the Fiddlesticks.
I mean, like, the comp seems whack, to say the least, but it's honestly not as bad as it might look. It's disrespectful, but it's actually
I would honestly say it's a little bit whack. I feel like this is definitely a disrespect coming out from INT drafting this, but it is starting to work in their favor.
It's disrespectful but fully functional.
Yes, GURL is kind of playing into their hands as well because this is a team that wants to team fight, with this 4v with a 4v5, because if they're doing a 4v5 team fight, it does mean that they have someone in the side lane split pushing, such as the Quinn right now. We got the elastic slingshot coming out right now, which means Boexplode is going to be joining this fight. He's going to be 1v5ing. He's got a lot of tank though, so he's able to stick around. He's able to win the smite fight because he just remains calm during all of that. Very well done, staying cool under pressure. In the meantime, Quinn is in the top lane with that massive wave, shoving it in. That is going to be an inhib going down as well. This is GURL just kind of letting them do this for free. And now we have the rest of INT just attempting to stop the backs. They're not even really trying to do much else. So that's going to be Bacon, Neko, not able to actually back it before the inhib is down. And the rest of GURL is now going to have to worry about that open spot on top. That entrance is going to be really, really devastating for them.
Yeah, that was such an unfortunate thing from the side of Team GURL. Like, Boexplode going in and getting that steal, honestly, really good.
Look at this. We got Brock Lee getting caught out right there in a very poor manner. Unfortunately, they are able to survive, but that's going to be the Samira jumping in onto 4 members, catching 4 on the Infernal Trigger, getting a nice number of pod shots off, and they're able to get a nice double kill. That's going to put GURL on a huge back foot. They don't have a mid turret anymore, and that's going to mean that this inhibitor is very, very naked and is going to be taking a lot of damage from these minions as they just start shredding into it. And this triple damage comp is just starting to show its true power right here. Good block of the True Shot Barrage with that Blade Whirl.
Oh my god!
That was not damage I expected to see.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a full damage composition. It's not a full AD composition. It is just a full damage composition.
Is that game? I honestly didn't think this would be game, but they're able to get this push off. The Nexus is completely exposed at this point. We are going to start having members of GURL showing up, but at the same time, INT could theoretically still fight this.
Yeah, it's looking like Pure Llama is zoning
Pure
off,
Llama just kind of running around in the minions, I think just trying to catch them to get them to focus him. That is going to mean Boexplode's going in on this, getting a nice bounce up and a knockoff as well. He's got basically 1v3ing right now. He is going to get pulled back as he's caught in a light binding, but that's going to be Evolved Noob going on a killing spree as they take down Darius, the one who's like most of the damage. Neko trying to do what they can, but unfortunately the Lux is just too squishy to really engage on this team. The range is too short. Look at that flash from Evolved Noob to avoid the light binding, and then he just drops the Gravity Storm on him. The Chaos Storm doing so much damage. Necker's trying to do what they can as well, but they're just bouncing around all over the place, strolling off these Mystic shots, but they're now under tower getting completely bursted out. There's nothing that GURL can do at this point.
Oh my
that is game.
That's looking to be game, and INT with... You know, GURL played that early game so well, but INT kept calm, kept collected, and absolutely brought it back. Dear Lord. That's some strong play.
I am a little stunned, to be honest, just by the end of that. I was not expecting it to happen that way. I was expecting the win from INT. I thought that they were going to be able to just kind of outpush, but I wasn't expecting it to happen quite like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like genuinely really surprising to see just how big of a snowball that came from that one fight at Dragon. You know, the one team fight ended up deciding this entire game. And INT just absolutely wiped the floor in the late game.
They did. The power of a 4 damage because Victor came online, so a 4 damage comp. It's really, really scary. And the Samira was just doing so much work, able to get onto that back line, get off the Infernal Trigger, just that all around, and the AoE shots. It's really kind of nuts. I don't have much else to say on this, Anti, unless you got something else.
Not too much. You know, it'll be really interesting to see who gets interviewed here.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back with the interview, folks. Stick around.
Hello, friends. Chris Edgeworth here with our final interview for tonight, and I'm joined by Explode from In the Trees. How are you feeling after the win?
Uh, It was kind of a fun game. That's all I can say.
Definitely a for fun game. Let's talk about this for fun draft. Yeah, what is there to even really say about this draft? So, what did you feel about what you folks pulled out? What did you think about what you're up against? Talk to me. Just give me any thoughts on this because we're all wondering.
Okay, so I'm gonna leak a scrim result, but I don't think GURL will mind. But we played a scrim against them and we beat them with 3 ADCs. So we wanted to give him like a flashback to that, and our support really wanted, like, he DM'd me. He was like, "Yo, can we play Sivir support? I played a lot of it. It's like really good." And I was like, we're just here to have fun. Might as well. So we just insta locked the Sivir support and then pick champs that like would pair well with it. So I think Victor and Samira are good carries with the mobility that Sivir gives you, and then obviously Quinn is already hella fast. Might as well just make her faster. But
Yeah,
if we were forced to pick Sivir support, I feel like those three champions would go really well. If you had a gun to your head, you had to pick Sivir support. Not that you should ever pick this champ.
All right, well, you pulled it off. So what are we gonna do? So, let's talk about this game though, because it didn't start off looking like it was gonna go your way. It looked a little unsteady. I wouldn't say it's not gonna go your way, but you started off less steady than we're used to seeing in the trees games. I mean, your draft didn't help, but so talk to me about where it seemed like the game really started to swing back in your favor. There was that fight around Dragon. You guys got a bunch of kills, got a full ace. But coming up to that fight, did you folks feel like you were still in the driver's seat, or did you feel like that you needed to actually take control of this at that fight and swing it back in your favor?
Yeah, so recently, I don't if any teams are scouting us and looking at, especially my op GG, I have like no games in the past 2 weeks, and that's not because INT is scrimming or anything. I'm literally just not playing League, so our communication and macro is not the best. And it, like, you could see that at I believe the third dragon fight, when we had vision set up, but it was just me and Kenny there. And my mid laner was mid, and my support took a bad back, and my top laner called he was gonna split push, so we knew that already. But we were just not on the same page when we wanted to take that dragon, so it was just me and Kenny against 4 or 5 people. But the fourth dragon is when, like, we knew that if we weren't there together, we would lose, obviously, because Fiddlesticks is kind of OP. But yeah, that fourth dragon, we fixed our mistakes from the third one, and that's how we got the lead.
All right. Well, after that, I do want to ask you, as we're closing in on the end of the season, about how you're feeling about your upcoming matchups in the final 3 weeks, or 3 games rather, of the last week, included against SEAL Team Chris, against RLS, and against Pentakill Timo. Please, I was just having that interview earlier with Anti, where you folks are all right there in that same pack. For 2 of those teams, and then we have the upstart SEAL Team Chris trying to make their berth. You did them a good solid here by beating GURL, so that you keep the Hopium alive for them. How are you feeling about In the Trees? As you say, you haven't been able to practice too much, but are you feeling strong after this win and your possibilities going into playoffs?
So I think it was last week we beat Rex with 2 subs, and then we had a really good early game against Terracotta. Unfortunately, I threw after a play, but I think despite that we weren't playing as much, I think the aspect, like the original INT of us just trying to get an early lead and winning through that, is still there. And RLS, I don't remember our first meeting. I know we lost, and I haven't really been watching them play, but they're a good team. I just don't know how we would pair against them after we beat Rex and had a good early game against TG last week. And then the other 2 teams, SEAL Team Chris, I know they're a new addition. I haven't been watching them either, but I think they have 2 wins, right? Out of, I
Yes.
don't know how many games they played, but who'd they play against? They played against
I want to say they're like
PTP.
I want to say they're 2 for 3 since they joined the league.
Oh, they beat PTP and GURL.
Yeah.
Not the strongest team, but two wins. Anyone will take that. But SEAL Team Chris and PTP are not the best teams, but we'll see how they match up.
All right, well, Bo, great to talk to you.
Yep.
Congratulations today. And
Thank
before we step away, any final thoughts, any shout-outs, any banter you haven't had an opportunity for?
Nah, I think everyone's chilling. Just the top 3 is Rex, Terracotta. Let's see how the top 3 goes.
Right on. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how the end of this week and the final week of the regular season shapes up. We do have some games coming up tomorrow, folks. We have a 5-game barn burner, so you're not going to want to miss it. Games are kicking off at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm Chris Edgeworth here for the Friend or Foe staff. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and good night.